తీసుకెళ్ళిపోతున్నావా అమ్మాయి?
హలో సాయి కృష్ణ అండి మాట్లాడేది. సాయి కృష్ణ ఏంటి క్లాస్ రాలేదు రోజు?
రాతో మాట్లాడు, కట్ చేసి పెట్టు అక్కడ.
తెలీదా? సరే రేపు మళ్ళీ 1 ఫోన్ చేస్తాను, క్లాస్ ఉంటుంది, రేపు క్లాస్ రాయండి. మళ్ళీ కాల్ చేస్తాను.
గూగుల్ మీట్ చేసేది, వెబ్ఎక్స్ అయినా పర్లేదు. డీటెయిల్స్ ఏం లేదు కదా మేడం, ఫీజు ఏం లేదు కదా మేడం. ఎవరికి ఇందులో పెడుతున్నా ఈమెయిల్ ఐడి, మొబైల్ నెంబర్ కంపల్సరీ ఉంది.
Hello, sir. Am I audible to you?
Sir, yes, sir.
Okay.
ఏం స్మెల్ వస్తుంది?
నేను వాడిని ఫోటో చూస్తున్నా ఇప్పుడు ఇంటర్నెట్లో నాకు సీక్రెట్గా వస్తాయని మూడో పాయింట్ ఒక న్యూస్ ఛానల్ చేయడానికి ఒక ఐ సెట్ బేస్డ్ ఆన్
Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, everyone. Am I audible to all?
Yes, madam.
Okay. So I am M. Aruna, Department of CSC site. Welcome you, all participants. The 5-day virtual SCT program, namely data handling and data visualization using Python. I request the participants to mute your audio. Our college, Swarnandra Institute of Engineering and Technology, was established in 2007 at Sitarampuram, Narsapur, West Godavari district, Andhra Pradesh, by the Vasistha Educational Society. Our college offers UG BTech programs in mechanical engineering, electrical and electronics engineering, electrical and communication engineering, and computer science engineering, and PG programs in mechanical engineering, ECE, CSE, and MBA also. All the programs are approved by AICT and accredited by NAC and affiliated to JNTU Kakinada. So I wish to introduce our CSE department. Our department is headed by Dr. T. Murali Mohan, who is also the principal of our institute. The department of CSE started with 60 seats in BTech CSE in 2007-8. Now the CSE department offers BTech CSE program with annual intake of 120 and MTech CSE program with annual intake of 18. Our department is having good infrastructure and high-speed internet facility. Most of the students are placed in reputed organizations like Wipro, Vachusa, Capgemini, Tech Mahindra, etc. Now I wish to introduce the convener of the program, Mr. B. Yugandhar, Assistant Professor, CSE Department site. I request him to speak few words about this program. Yugandhar, sir.
Okay, thank you, madam. Good afternoon. Welcome to one and all. I be Yugandhar, Assistant Professor from CSE Department and convener, inviting to you all the participants of 5-day FDP program on data handling and data visualization using Python. It's a happy moment you people want to get the knowledge through Python programming as per requirement for industry and R&D some other areas. Nowadays, people are very interested to learn Python programming in the world because compared to some other languages, examples like C, C++, Java, Python is very simple and easy to learn and a very good platform for artificial intelligence, neural network, deep learning, and machine learning. Generally, anyone can learn Python from various areas like web, from academic or industry. But our program main agenda is how to create uncertain data and how to handle the data and check that entire data in terms of graphical representation, find out missing data, and so on. So in this context, we will learn advanced Python topic pandas for the data handling and graphical representation, matplotlib. Hope you will enjoy all the sessions with knowledge. On this occasion, I want to thanks to management, Secretary and Correspondent, Dr. S. Ramesh Babu sir, and Vice Chairman S. Keith Kumar sir, and Principal and HOD CSC Department, Dr. T. Murali Mohan sir, and my colleagues and others. Thank you one and all. Thank you for giving this opportunity.
Now I would like to join the principal of our college, Dr. T. Murali Mohan, in this program. I request Principal Sir to give the message for the participants. Principal, sir. Sir, Murali Mohan, sir. Sir, Principal, sir. Murali Mohan, sir.
Hello, good afternoon, everyone. Are you audible, madam?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, good afternoon to everyone. Hope everyone, along with their family and friends, are safe in this COVID-19 lockdown period. Welcome to 5-day FDP program, data handling and data visualization using Python, conducting our college for Nandra Institute of Engineering and Technology, Andhra Pradesh, India. Generally, if no COVID period, regular time, any college want to conduct FDP program, participation will join in and around colleges, a radius of 50 to 100 kilometers, not more than 30 to 40 maximum numbers. But in this lockdown time, we received 720 participants and 627 participants out of 720. Some of them are repeated from various districts and countries. It shows how important is online courses. Anyone can learn anything from anywhere. So we received registered participants from various levels like doctorates of 86 members, professors of 36, assistant professors of 115, assistant professors of 390, and others also 86 members are registered in this FDP program. So apart from different areas and different levels of different districts, Andhra Pradesh, from Andhra Pradesh 323 members, Saudi Arabia from 1 people, Assam 2 members, Chhattisgarh 2 members, Gujarat 4 members, Haryana 9 members, Maharashtra 17, Madhya Pradesh 8 members, Telangana 106, Tamil Nadu 56, Uttar Pradesh, West Bengal, Karnataka, Kerala. So different areas, different states, they are participated in this program. So based on these statistics, we can understand how Python is important for nowadays. And industry requires a professional from Python. Hope you will enjoy, you will learn, you will also become an expert in Python after this program. So generally, any college will choose a resource person from industry because of their experience, because their real-time experience, real-time handling projects and everything. But why I'm selected this person, Dr. Nagaraju, by identity is the only one thing is he's a resource person. He's an academician. So he can understand how academician persons will think and act and expect and how to handle the situations. So he can deliver the lecture with easily to understand. I hope Dr. Nagaraju will reach as our expectations requirement also. So on this occasion, I would thank to my management, secretary and correspondent Dr. Ramesh Babu Garu, Vice Chairman Keith Kumar Garu, staff and especially convener for organizing this event. Thank you to one and all.
Thank you, sir. I would also seek the presence of Secretary, sir, Dr. S. Ramesh Babu, sir, in this FTP. And finally, I'm requesting to have the presence of the resource person of the FTP program, Dr. B. Nagaraju, sir. Welcome, sir. I'm happy to read out the profile of Dr. B. Nagaraju, sir. So he completed his PhD from NIT Nagaland and pursued his MTech in Computer Science and Technology from the College of Engineering, Andhra University. He has industry experience for about 5 years and 8 years of teaching experience. He published his research papers in various Scoopers indexed journals and science citation indexed journals like Springer. Thank you, sir, for your acceptance as a resource person for this FTP. I would like you to continue this FTP program and enlighten us with the Python knowledge, sir. Thank you, sir. Nagaraju, sir.
Thank you, madam. Thank you, madam. Am I audible to all the participants clearly?
Yes,
or
sir.
is, yeah.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So can I start the session, sir? Professor Murali Garu?
Yeah, we can start the session now. Actually, 53 members are joined. Maybe
Okay.
remaining people we can join. We can start as per the schedule, sir.
Okay. Okay. Let the new participants keep on joining. That's fine. I request all the participants to kindly mute their videos and kindly mute your audio also, so that the data rate we can consume less data rates. So I request all the participants to kindly bear with me. I request all the participants to kindly mute their videos. I can see some of the participants still. Yeah. Kindly mute the videos and because this is the first day of the session, we will have some kind of technical discussions like introducing the person to whom you are listening to. That's inevitable part, right? So let us not waste so much of time. Couple of minutes. I want all of your attention, right? I am honored to represent the Department of Computer Science and Engineering, National Institute of Technology, Nagaland. So on behalf of my parent institute and my parent department, I'm very happy to meet some of you from various parts of the country. And I think some international participants are also there. That's good to hear. So very good afternoon to everyone. And this is Nagaraju Baideti, to whom you are referring to. Right now, we are going to travel for maybe 7.5 hours in total in 5 days, right? So, sorry to point one thing. Our convener, Mr. Yugandhar Garu, has mentioned Python is easy to learn, so it is good. I am very sorry, sir, to contradict your words. Don't mind. Python is not easy. Python is not easy to learn. For that matter, all programming are easy only to learn, and all programming are difficult to learn. Only thing is how we are actually thinking about the logic is the core kernel of any programming language. It is not about writing the syntax. Python is not writing a syntax. C program is not writing a syntax. Many things are hidden in Python so that people are thinking that it is very easy to use. It's not like that. And at the same time, I'm not saying it is difficult to use, right? So don't have such kind of mindset because Python is easy. Python is easy. No, Python is not easy. Python has hidden so many concepts for the end programmer. That's why it looks like writing. See, Python is easy in one thing. You will write less syntax and you can concentrate on your logical capability, right? Then, now let us quickly start our session. It's 3:37. The first session, I am going to deal with the fundamental motivation of data science. Our FDP is about data handling and data visualization in Python, but where from the data handling is coming? From where the data visualization concept is coming? Basically, data handling and the way we visualize the data is basically part of data science. This 5 days, let us have a journey in various foundational concepts of data science. I can say this program can be also named as Introduction to Data Science using Python, Foundations of Data Science using Python, right? Because some names are being used repeatedly. Professor Murali Garu has asked me to write in a different way. So I wrote data handling and data visualization in Python. First session today will be more of a technical motivational lecture about data science. Session 2, we will see the basic data handling using already our Yugandhar Garu, the convener, has mentioned about Pandas library. The Pandas library we are going to use. Then third day, means session 3, we are going to learn about why missing values are coming in the real-time data set. Why we have to give importance to missing values, right? Then in this process, I am going to use a real-time data set, but also I am going to create our own data set for practicing purpose. So we are going to fabricate our own data and then perform some data pre-processing steps and data pre-processing, data processing, data cleansing, whatever you say. Basically, it's all coming under processing the data. And then finally, we go to the data visualization part. So how can we, what is data visualization? Let us see all those concepts in very much in detail. Today only, there will be a PPT and all the participants, I am there in all the 3 WhatsApp groups. Don't worry about all the materials. After the session, within half an hour or 1 hour, by the time I reach my home, I am going to send all the materials to you. From tomorrow onwards, it will be a pure hands-on session. Hands-on session means I am going to type the program. I am going to explain you line by line, but I cannot give you the time to type in your machine because it is an online mode. I cannot wait for all the participants to execute, and you have some more time before the next day session starts. I request everybody, you can practice the code. I am going to give the programs also in the WhatsApp. You can also create your own programs. If you have any doubt, after the session, I will give 5-10 minutes time or 15 minutes time, depending upon the response of the audience, or we can wind up the session at 5 o'clock or 5:15. Then we can have offline discussion also. I hope this non-technical discussion is more than enough. So let us start our actual concept of today's session. I request everybody, you please can kindly mute your videos, right? So that we can save the data. In case if you are feeling any difficulty, I can also mute my video. Now, before coming to, am I audible? Because I am just about to start my technical session. Let us come to the chat. Now, once I start the session, sorry, I forgot to mention. Once I start the session, I may not see the chat regularly. So maybe after 10 minutes or 15 minutes, 20 minutes, I will definitely give some 15 to 30 seconds time. You people can respond in the chat. I request all the participants, don't ask the feedback form. Don't ask the feedback form before my session is stopped. Definitely, I believe organizers are going to give you the feedback form. Everybody will get the certificates. I understand. In Andhra Pradesh, the situation is people are forced to get certificates, right? I definitely agree with you. Let us try to have a journey of acquiring some knowledge, and let us put first things first. Okay. So I request all the participants to respond to my questions in the chat, but not any other non-technical discussions, because it will deviate our mindset, right? So thank you for listening to this non-technical discussion before the session starts. Am I audible to you all? Am I audible to you?
Yes, sir.
So kindly respond in the chat. Yes. And organizers.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Organizers, in case if I am not audible, in case if there is any roadblock, technical block, kindly stop me by unmuting your video. Sorry, audio.
ఏంటి క్లాస్
I request, I think I don't want to mention some names. Murali Mohan sir, kindly please address the participants to mute their video and audio, please. I don't want any disturbance. Murali Mohan Garu, I am not asking you to mute, sir. You have to inform. Sir, organizers, my sincere request, let us not get distracted. Kindly mute your video and audio, please. I don't want to point the names. Organizers, can you please take care of this?
Yes, sir.
Okay, then let us start the session by not wasting our time. People, whoever can understand what is muting the audio and video, I kindly, sincerely request you to do that. Now, much before going to the foundations of data science, let me, I think my screen is visible to all of you. Now, you come here. See here, I am going to type data. The moment I type data handling in my web browser, automatically some recommendations are coming from Google. It's very troublesome situation. Sorry, I am not going to continue unless until the audience are muted, because once I start the session, I don't want a non-technical disturbance for me. Sorry, organizers, can you please take care of this? Because it distracts the participants who are attentive and it distracts me also. I am also being muted. That's also good. Am I audible now? Because I think organizer.
Sir, all are muted, sir. Now okay, na, sir?
Yes. Am I audible to you guys?
Yeah.
Everyone?
Really audible, sir.
Okay,
Yeah,
thank you.
Go ahead,
Sorry. I am sorry
Karnataka,
for all
sir.
the participants and the organizers also. Thank you. Now, see, in my browser, the moment I am typing data handling word, automatically some recommendations are coming. Data handling in Python tutorials point, data handling in Python, right? Now you go and type the same thing, some other recommendation may come. From where these recommendations are coming? This is nothing but data science. The Google recommendation is part of data science. So in our daily life, we are using so many data science concepts. Now, thanks to an organization where it provides the effect of COVID in India, right? Everybody might be using this website extensively. COVID-19india.org. What is this project? This project is nothing but data visualization, and I believe this is being done in Python. I think so. See how you are going to do data visualization, whether you are doing in Python, whether you are doing in R programming, does not matter. There are so many tools like Tableau. There are different platforms which support data visualization, right? Recently, Street is also one library which is good in data visualization. So what is this data visualization, right? Now let us have a look on the importance. Only the first day we will have a presentation kind of thing. Rest all will be hands-on, right? So let me start the presentation. So today I am going to discuss about the foundations of data science. Every one of us know it is a thrust area, Internet of Things, data science. Now nobody will talk about a relational database management system. Nobody is talking about a data warehousing. People are talking about machine learning, deep learning, artificial intelligence. Now people started, not only now, from the last 10 years, people are now fond of advanced concepts, right? Foundations of data science. That's, I thought, will give a brief introduction about why we are going to do data handling and data visualization using Python, right? It is not the only way. It can be many programming tools are available. So my presentation is something like, what is data science? From where it started? Why should we bother about this data science? And then the workflow, life cycle, what are the application areas of data science? What kind of job opportunities are available? See, maybe this is a faculty development program. So even after faculty can do, after that, faculty can also choose a different perspective, right? You can handle, you may not look for a job. You are a teacher, but what kind of projects that you can give to your students, UG students or PG students or research scholars. If you are a doctorate who has a chance to guide somebody, then you can have. So the job opportunities is not only for with respect to students. I will try to cover with respect to what kind of projects that we can deal. Then let us do a post-mortem of who is a data scientist. That's what we are going to see in anatomy of data scientist. Then if you want to become a data scientist, what are the skill sets that are required? Then finally, I will introduce you to some of the libraries in a theoretical point of view. And from tomorrow onwards, we will see the practical implementation. Now, what is a data science? It is very simple. When you start analyzing the data, it is part of a data science. There are so many definitions, right, about data science. What we are going to do, 1 second, let me show you this website again, right? COVID-19india.org. Now, by the moment you see the website, you yourself, without having any knowledge about the data set, you can say 4,26,000 people got affected in India. Okay, that's okay. That is not a good thing. But yes, 2,37,000 people recovered. Then you can derive a percentage out of it and you can say India is recovering from COVID. But at the same time, you can also try to predict something. What was my, what is the data yesterday? See here, come down. Now you see, I am just putting the mouse on a point, data point. It automatically gives how many people got affected on 19th June, how many people are affected on 27th May. And there is a graph nicely. See, this is what is called as data science. I am not saying this is the only part of data science. This is also part of data science. So we can study the data. Here, the data set is hidden for the end user. But anybody who sees, even no need for a computer science postgraduate degree or a PhD degree on data science. Anybody, even if you give to a 10th class person who never even touched a laptop, they can also see this site and say, that is the power of data science. That is the power of data science. Am I audible to you guys? Suddenly I got a doubt. No audio they are saying. Am I audible?
Continue,
Yeah, the participants can respond me in the chat. Am I audible? Okay. Thank you. So that's what study of data is all about. The study of data. What kind of study we can do? Depending upon your application area, you may study in a different dimension. One example I showed you, the current COVID situation. What kind of study we can do? We can study the statistics of the recovery of Indian population, the effect of COVID on Indian population. There are so many studies. A doctor will study in a different way. A marketing field executive may study in a different way. A pharmaceutical field, suppose in Glenmark, nowadays, I think day before yesterday, there is one medicine which is released. Those pharma field may study the same data in a different way. How many people need medicine? How much quantity of drugs I have to generate within 1 week, right? So that kind of process is involved in. Now, when you are studying the data, what you are going to get? You are going to get some knowledge out of it. If you see that COVID website, if you are not getting any knowledge, first of all, let me be very clear. Machine learning, artificial intelligence are subset of data science. Even deep learning is also a subset of machine learning. Machine learning is a subset of artificial intelligence, and all these domains are coming under the superset data science. So nevertheless, to say, if you cannot derive a knowledge, there is no meaning of studying the data. Now, how can I get a knowledge? You have to gain the in-depth. When you are able to derive the knowledge, that means you have dig deep into the data. You have analyzed the data. You have processed the data. You have cleansed the data so that it can be processed. So you have to gain the insight from huge and diverse set of data. what is diverse set of data? Let me try to explain you in a simple terminology, right? For the benefit of all the participants from non-CSC background, if anybody is there, what is huge, everybody will understand, right? Data science, when you say the amount of data that we are going to handle is large in number. It is not a small 10 records of data or 20. It is a millions and trillions of data set, the instances in the data set, right? And what is diverse set of data? For example, I will take one small example and try to highlight here. Take Amazon customer data set. Suppose the Amazon people want to understand. Now, Nagaraju as a customer, the way I buy, the season I buy may not be same with some other customer. There is a diversity in interest, or I can simply say diversity in purchase. Then, depending upon the geographical background, people may have a different interest. Suppose, example, Nagaland is a very cool place. So in winter, I might go for more woolen items, but it may not be same with another person. Suppose, example, Dheeraj, who is sitting in Andhra Pradesh. He may not purchase the same kind of items in the same season what Nagaraju is purchasing. Are you able to understand? So the diversity is there in the way we purchase items, the kind of items we purchase. Not only that, somebody is sitting in America, okay, his time zone is different, my time zone is different. That means the data may come from different parts of the country or across continents in a different way also. It can be a data set in HTML file. That means the data set what we are going to discuss in this 5 days FDP characteristic may vary. Now, when you want to work on organizing, means gathering everything and making it into a single streamline, streamlining the data, processing the data and analyzing the data. I will definitely take you very much in detail in the coming sessions about what is this processing and analyzing, right? Then definitely, if there is I request all the participants not to use annotations. Annotations are given only for the presenter. I request all the participants kindly don't touch your screens. Yeah. Now, what is structured data? You take a CSV file. It is arranged in rows and columns. Then we can say the data is already structured. You take HTML, there is no structured data there. Then that means data science not only deals with structured data, it can also deal with unstructured data. So next, finally, when we are handling the data, deriving the knowledge, we should be able to take some decisions. For example, as I showed you the COVID-19india.org, by seeing the data, our government can decide what kind of measures that I have to take. Do we need to extend the lockdown? I'm just telling an example, okay? I am not propagating that we should extend the lockdown, right? Some pharmaceutical companies can take a decision, okay, what will be requirement of the drug. For example, Glenmark, they have released, they already officially released a drug, right, for the patients who are affected with COVID. Not a vaccine, it's a drug like a paracetamol for fever, like Allegra for allergy, citrizin. Similarly, for COVID people, they have given that drug. When they are seeing the data, they should be able to take a decision. What is the market value, or how many drugs are required in the near future? By seeing the trend of COVID, they should be able to take a decision. So finally, what I mean to say, data science ultimate goal is to make decisions in the business model. The business may vary from each other, but the concept of decision making remains same. Now, data science is an interdisciplinary field. That means you can get the data from a sensor, you can get the data from a body area network, you can get a data from various resources. For example, there is a smart city concept. In smart city concept, obviously data will come, because smart city itself says that it is a data driven approach with wireless sensor networks and Internet of Things. There, a body, suppose there is a smart home. The data which is coming from a smart home may not be same as the data coming from a hospital in the smart city. There can be a smart grid. In the smart city, there can be a power distribution center where a smart grid is used, where the power dissipation happens. The data which is coming from smart grid is electrical field data, right? So the data which is actually coming towards our business model, they are interdiscipline in nature. Okay, let me continue. Is there any difficulty? Because some people raised their hand. 3 participants raised their hand. So I am coming to the chat box. Any doubts? Because some people have raised the hand. Now I am forced to come to the chat box. 4 participants raised the hand. 2 participants. Can you please text me in the chat box, or can I continue? Because if somebody is electronically raising hand, I am bound to stop my lecture and come to the chat box. Okay, so let me continue. Now, we are all talking about data science, big data analytics, right? Where exactly this is coming from? Many people will immediately say recent. Tell me whether data science is recent or not. Can somebody respond in the chat? Is data science a recent field or an old field? Is data science old? Yeah. Yes. That's good. Many people, I think, already know that it is a very old concept, right? So let us just have a 1-minute view of the person John. He is an American mathematician. He developed the fast Fourier transform algorithm and box plot. There is a plot maybe in the last session. I am going to tell you about box and whisker plot. He is the person who's invented or who designed the box plot concept. When he designed, and not only that, he is the person who introduced the word bit. I request all the participants, kindly don't use the annotations. I don't understand. Please, I request all the participants, don't draw anything on the screen. See, this is not an LKG student who is attending a Zoom class, right? I wish I should not use such harsh words, but still, kind don't scale. He used the data is the person who actually started word data analysis before I am born in the year 1962 itself. But maybe people are not taking the data science in its true meaning. But this is originated almost 50 years ago. Now, who is this person? He is another Danish computer science pioneer. He is Peter Nau. He is the first Danish person. He is from Denmark. He won the Turing Award winner. You know what is Turing, right? So this Peter Nau has designed an algorithm called as ALGOL60. Maybe I didn't study ALGOL because I am not from that age, right? So why we are talking about ALGOL60? ALGOL60 was the foundation stone for the language BPCL. After BPCL only the C language came. So because of this person, Dennis Rich was able to introduce us the most powerful language of computer science, that is C language, right? Not only that, he is the person who described a syntax, okay, along with another scientist, another pioneer Backus. He started the BNF notation, which is basically the syntax of. Now, this person does not like the word computer science. I read all these things from Wikipedia. I have given the links also to you. This personality in the year 1960s, he told, don't use the term. He did not introduce data science, but he told computer science should be called as data science. In Denmark, during those days, people used data science. That means, suppose if I am doing BTech computer science, they are going to do BTech data science, right? So from here it came. Now, why I have to use data science? What is the need? Why? Because because the current fuel as a vehicle runs with diesel, petrol, or a natural compressed natural gas, sorry. Now we are in a data hungry application world. Everybody is generating a data. Everybody is generating data. In this FDP also, we are generating some data in the internet. In your mobile, you are generating some data. You take any smart home, you are generating a data, right? It's a data driven approach. That's what we need. According to the United States, you see the number of roles for data. See, I am asking continuously. I don't know who is using this. See, you are drawing something I have to clear. I don't know. Kindly give respect to the presenter. I cannot talk more harsh words than this. Please don't use annotations like a kid. Annotations are there for me. Unnecessarily don't trouble me. Sorry. Right. The number of role from it has grown by 650%. Just imagine the number of jobs that are getting created. And only by 2026, in another 6 years, 11.5 million jobs are going to get created for data science. So I am not saying that this is the right time, but definitely if you learn data science, there are good opportunities for your students or research scholars or for you also. You can also emerge as a teacher also. You can learn so many concepts of data science and you can teach the next generations, right? So according to LinkedIn, data science is the topmost job, right? So can I disable participant? Disable participant. Yes, thank you. Somebody has given a good suggestion for me. Thank you, Aruna Kiranmai Garu. I have disabled all the participants' annotations. Hopefully, that's good. Now, what exactly we do in data science, right? Depending upon a business. First, data science is business dependent. Depending upon our business, the first thing is, what is our business model? What is our plan means, what is our business model? Once the business model is fixed, then what you have to do? Suppose you want to start your own business for video streaming. For example, Netflix, Amazon Video, Prime Video, Hotstar. Now there is a recently, not recently, maybe 6 months back, I guess, there is one new video streaming application called as AHA, In South India, Andhra Pradesh, there is one film star called as Allu Arjun. He started his app, right? So when he started his app, definitely he might have thought, what is the requirement for my business model? Then he could have observed the trend of Hotstar, Amazon Prime, YouTube, Netflix, Z5. There are so many video streaming applications. So first you have to decide what is my plan. After you have decided your business model, the next thing what you have to do is study the past. Study the past. That is what happened. What happened earlier? What are the streaming applications? What is the best streaming application? What is the money that they are using for the subscription? What is the monthly subscription? Okay, what kind of problems they are facing? You have to understand the market of your existing domain. Okay, then you have to ask a reason. Something happened, that is fine. Why it happened? What is the root cause? Suppose you have started an application and business loss happened or a profit happened. In any case, you need to analyze what is the reason for my profit, what is the reason for my loss. Example. Then you have to think future prediction. Okay, last December, example, I will tell you one simple example. In IRCTC, initially only booking tickets are there available, Tatkal or general quota. I think from last 1 year or 1.5 years, if it is a waiting list, they are giving you some predictions. Last year, what was the waiting list which got confirmed? Same day last year in a festival season like Pongal, Christmas, Dasara example. So IRCTC is also doing a data science and giving the customers so that they may see, okay, last year, it may not happen exactly the same thing, but some idea you will get. So that is what I am saying. What will happen next? And what I am going to do? I know what happened in the past, why it happened, what is going to happen, then what is my remedy? What is my next step? This is how an analytic cycle is all about. It is how an analytic cycle happens. Okay, then am I clear, all the audience? Let me go to the chat. Am I clear? Okay, now let us move ahead. Give me a 10 seconds gap. Okay, now let us continue, right? This is how the data science workflow is. First, you need to capture the data. If you want to work on data science, you need data, because data science is a data-driven approach. After that, what you are going to do on session 3 and session 2 tomorrow, we are going to understand what is this manage and clean the data. Okay, for example, simple example of cleaning the data. You have a customer purchase data set from different countries. What will happen? The time zone of purchase may vary. If you want to take any decision, you have to bring all the time zones to a single time zone. If you take my data, maybe it is in Indian Standard Time. Somebody is purchasing something in America, they may have their own data time zone, right? So you have to, if you want to bring all the data from different continents, then the data from different data set may have different time zones. So now you have to process it. That is what cleaning the data is. There are so many concepts of cleaning the data, like missing values, how to fill the missing values, whether to remove the record or whether to fill the value with some other value. There are so many concepts which we will see. After that, we have to do some exploratory analysis, which a data model also will come out of it. Okay, intermediary. After that, we have to do final analysis, and you create some reports from data visualization tools, and this cycle continues. It's like an infinite loop. Okay, so you have to define a problem, you have to obtain the data. What is the defining a problem? Your business model. So cleaning the data is also called as scrubbing the data, as I already told you. So what is exploratory data analytics? You have to compute the descriptive statistics to extract the features. See, exploratory analysis means, imagine there is a cancer data set, and in your cancer data set, there may be so many attributes. From those attributes, all the attributes may not be required for you to go ahead for taking any decision. So what you will do, you extract important features. Then you start your analysis. That is what exploratory analysis is all about. Then you data model a data. You have to model the data. Then finally, data visualization comes. Now, this is also same. The life cycle of data science. It's another way of representation, right? So almost all the 3 slides are looking one and the same, a different perspective of it. Okay. So here you can see there's a capture. Capture means data acquisition. You have to acquire the data, right? It can be, suppose if you are having a smart city and a smart grid is there, you have to get the data from all the electricity power meters. So it can be a different data. It can be a speech. It can be a analog signal, digital signal, whatever it may be, right? Diversified data. Then what you have to do? You have to maintain them. You have to keep them in your data warehouse. Then do all the pre-processing techniques. Then you keep on mining them. Do a lot of data modeling. Cluster the data. Classify them. So all these things are very common procedure which are followed, right? Then you analyze. Then you report. Again, you capture. So this is also a vicious kind of circle, right? Then another as OSEMN framework. So they say obtain the data, clean the data, that is scrub. Scrubbing means cleaning the data, right? What is a general scrub? It is a something where you smoothen the rough surfaces, right? So obtain the data, gather from different sources, clean the data, find the significant patterns and trends using different statistical methods, then model your data so that you can predict it, and then finally put the results so that you can interpret. This is another thing. Now, what are the application areas in my data science? You mention any domain, data science will fit in that particular domain. These are the only few frequently and famous areas. One is e-commerce, right? So what is e-commerce? I think no need for any explanation, right? Manufacturing industry, then in banking industry, healthcare, medical field, then transport. People are now talking about self-driving car in 5G. Morning I gave a session in one of a private college about Internet of Things and 5G, right? There we talk about autopilot cars, not only autopilot flights. Now we are talking about autopilot cars. Then how it will do? Basically, it is also part of IoT. It is part of a network. It is part of a data science also, right? Then finance. This is the best thing. I think no need to explain anything. Not good in market and mutual funds. Some people spend hours together in investment. They are actually doing the data science only. What they will do? They will open the share market. They will see the trend, because there are a lot of tools. They are no need for them to write any program. There are some existing tools. They will see and they will take some decisions and lot of things. Even the share market, the not only the company owners, the customers also use data science. So there are many application areas like this, right? Okay. So one of the participant, PSN Bhaskar garu, is asking, what is the difference between data science and data analytics? Data analytics is part of data science. Data science is a superset. Inside the data science, you are going to analyze the data, means then it is data analytics or big data analytics. Data science is the end-to-end solution. 1 minute, let me just show you one slide before. You see here, data science is a process. Data science is a process like end to end, from obtaining the data to interpreting the results. One part in this process will be analyzing the data. I hope it is clear. If there is any doubt, I am happy to respond. Let me go to the chat. Okay. Another participant is asking, what is the difference between data science and data mining? Data mining is also part of data science. See, data science is the, what you can say, the head of the family. Data science is the head of the family. Data science is a process, end-to-end process. Inside the data science, data mining may come, data handling is coming, data visualization is coming, data warehousing may come, big data analytics will come, artificial intelligence is part of data science, machine learning is part of data science, and deep learning is also part of data science. Nowadays, everything. Can self-driving flight is possible? Yes, it is possible. Autopilot mode is there. Yes, yes, yes. One of the participants responded, data science is universal set and other are subsets. Exactly, exactly, correct. So can I continue? Can I continue, participants? Yeah, thank you. Thank you. So let us be very interactive also, because we can't directly talk. So we can talk through the chat box only. Yes. Now let me go. Devanshi Mishra, any doubts? Miss Devanshi Mishra, any doubts? You raise the hand. Okay. Now, so this is done. Now, what kind of job opportunities are available in data science domain? See, some of the students are also part of this FDP, I believe. And many are faculty. Majority are faculty, and maybe the student community is a minor community here. But when I am talking about job, I am not only talking about the job of a student, right? So initially when I prepared, see, there are so many, people will get confused. These many roles are available in data science domain, right? So a person who is good in analyzing the data can apply a role for data analyst. See, as I already told you, data science is a process where there are so many, technologies and tools which are being used. So you cannot become jack of all trades, but you can be expert of something. Okay, if you are good in analyzing the data, or if you are good in machine learning algorithms, then you can become a machine learning expert, right? If you are good in modeling the data, or for example, how can I bring normalization in the data? How can I bring scaling in the data, right? If you are good in modeling the data, you can become a data engineer. Then I am going to concentrate on one particular job role which is very famous, that is data scientist. And there are other roles like database administrator, architect, and all 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 roles are purely technical. The last 2 roles are having a business flavor in it. You can become a manager You can have a technical competency also, and you can go towards administration, managerial perspective, where the business analyst and business intelligence manager. When you are growing high in the pyramid in your company or in your job role, you can select the business analyst or business intelligence manager also. Now, let us do the post-mortem of a data scientist. Yeah. Another question is programming knowledge required to become data science engineer? 100%. Without a programming knowledge, you cannot become a data science engineer. Why? Because you have to, if you have a mathematical background, automatically you can write an algorithm very easily. Okay. See, programming language is just a implementation part. If somewhere down the line somebody has to write a programming concept for a particular algorithm, then if you don't know the programming language, you can become a data science mathematical model, but somebody has to write a program for you then. Okay. So I can say programming knowledge is definitely required, but at the same time, if you are good in mathematical modeling, then somebody has to write a program for you. So I hope Aslam Khan Garus, Mr. Aslam Khan, doubt is clarified, right? So I'm not sure how many faculty are there, how many students are there. So I may not say sir or thing. So kindly, when I'm taking your names, so don't feel bad. Now, what is data scientist doing? Okay. If you want to, this is the one of the hot cake, you can say. Okay. I should not use some terms. People, if you go to internet, they will say it is the sexiest job of 21st century. It is the hot cake of current 21st century. It is not my words. It is told by Harvard Business School. Now, I am not motivated about the average salary and all. So I am not bothered about the salary details. You see, 85% of the data science people are having master's degree. And you see, sometimes people may say, I am a teacher. I did a PhD. Shall I stop myself as a teacher? No. You see, more than 45% of the people have a PhD, right? So this is not only for a student, it can be for a teacher. Teacher in two ways. You can also do multiple roles, like you can teach the students, at the same time you can handle different projects also, right? Now, what is the common field of study? Mathematics and statistics, and computer science is there, and engineering is also almost 16%. That means any field of engineering is best suited for data science nowadays, right? Now, where I can get a job? You can have a job in Amazon. You see Uber, you may wonder, in Uber, there's a car driver only will get a job, right? One of my friend is working, now he is not working. He started his own company called as AirMeet. Many people know Zoom, GoToMeeting, like that. There is a company called as AirMeet. One of the company owner is my diploma senior and my BTech classmate. His name is Vinay, right? He was working in one of the company called as Blacks. They used to give trucks. You know truck, right? Suppose Uber gives us a car, that company will give a truck for, what do you say, transporting your commodities. There also people were writing programs in Python, Django web applications. So somebody if suddenly sees Uber, Uber is not only for the car driver. For the car driver to get your details, somebody has already written a program, right? So Uber, Ola, and Amazon, Swiggy, I think so many food related apps are also available, right? All those are using data science. Okay. So where you are going to get, you may be in the finance, you can be in marketing, you can be in a consulting, you can be in a healthcare, you can be in a pharmaceuticals also. There are so many domains. Then one of the participant asked, is programming skills required? Yes, it is required. Some of the things are Python, basically Python R programming also. I am not going to compare Python or R here. So you need the SQL database and coding. It can be Oracle, it can be MongoDB, it can be PLSQL, MySQL. So many basic databases are there, right? Then you should have a knowledge of machine learning, artificial intelligence, statistics, and data visualization. So this is what a data scientist opportunities are there in the world, right? Now, okay, what data scientist will get, we saw, but how I can become a data scientist? Can I become a data scientist? Somebody is asking, statistics knowledge required to become a data scientist. 100% Jisha garu, Miss Jisha, yes, statistics knowledge is required. Okay, so now let us see what a data scientist should get. The first thing is mathematics and statistics. And I am not saying if you, some people may not have a very good mathematical and statistical background, but they may have a good domain knowledge. Then a statistical engineer and the domain knowledge person will work together. Okay, but if you want to be a true data scientist, you need to have all these skills, right? You need to be good in programming, you need to be good in communication also. Communication means now when you are choosing a data scientist role, you are exposed to many customers and clients. So you should be able to communicate nicely in the way they understand in the business perspective also. So that's why it is mentioned storytelling skills, right? So convert the data based insights to decisions, and so many other skills are already mentioned here, right? Now, coming to the core idea of our FDP, I am going to explain you the most fundamental concepts of data handling using pandas, how to handle missing data, how to do data pre-processing, that is data scrubbing or cleansing the data, how can I visualize the data in 4 different sessions, right? So we are going to use different libraries like scientific Python, numerical Python for handling the data, then Matplotlib for data visualization, scikit-learn, Seaborn. Seaborn is also another data visualization technique library. Scrappy, maybe I may not explain more about Scrappy because it is not possible to explain everything. And it starts with pandas. I didn't mention that, right? The first one is pandas. Pandas is a library which is the very powerful library for data handling. These all libraries, I may not explain you everything in detail, but by making use of these libraries, we are going to have 4 different sessions in the coming 4 days. Okay, so there are some websites which I referred. Okay, this is not it. I am coming back. Another 5 minutes. I need to say, what is the time now? Okay, still time is there. Don't worry. I have one more thing to go. This is not the end of my presentation. Okay, 1 minute. Please wait. Yeah, you people, I think I am already part of the WhatsApp group. So you can make a note of my email ID or a contact number, and you can also kindly don't send only good morning and good afternoon messages for me. So if you have any technical details, if I am not able to answer you, I will learn and I will come back and answer you. And make use of those WhatsApp group. I request the organizers in front of all the participants, don't leave the group after the FDP is over, because learning is a journey. Learning is not a destination. Destination will not be arrived in a learning process. Keep the FDP WhatsApp alive. In any future, have any query or you want to clarify me anything, I can also learn from you. You can also learn from me, right? Now, I want to ask one question here. I will stop the sharing. I want to ask one question. How many of you does not know what is Python? How many of you does not know what is Python? There is nothing wrong. Everybody, there is no need that everybody is a master of Python, right? So sincerely, I am asking, I want to know what kind of audience are here. Are all the people are from computer science background, or there are different background? I just want to. Okay. Yes, there are some people who are from different background. That's what. Yeah, thank you for all the responses. One of the participant asked a question: can I work on images in pandas? Yes, you can store the image in a database as a binary large object. I have used for my PhD. I used to store the images in the database as a binary large object, and always you can contact the database through Py. We are going to see that. Now, I may not tell about image processing, but yes, it is possible. Okay, now I have prepared one more document is there. This is purely for people who are seeing Python for the first time in their life, right? Now, after the session, I am going to dump this document also in the WhatsApp group. I am not going to tell you why Python we have to use and all, right? So let me skip the theoretical part. If you want to install Python, let me start screen sharing again. 1 second.
Sir, Nagaraj sir, not audible anything. Sir, Nagaraju sir. Oof.
ఇదే అడుగులుగా చెప్పదయ్యా.
సార్ వాయిస్ వినిపించట్లేదు.
Sir, check.
Okay,
Okay,
I think now
okay.
I am unmuted. Thank you.
Sir, okay na sir?
Sorry. Yeah. Am I audible to you now? Sorry. Am I audible to you?
Yes sir. Yes sir.
Sorry, I got disconnected. I don't know. Something I clicked, I got disconnected. I'm sorry. Thank you. Okay. Now, only for the people, let me share the screen again. Share the screen. Now, it may be a very redundant information for the computer science engineers, but still, for the interest of the people, everybody should learn in this FDP. I prepared a document where to go to Python and how to install Python. This document is little old. Now the latest version is 3.8.3. you can go to this particular website and you can download the Python. Not only downloading the Python, there are some libraries which are required. So let me just, I have given a very clear understanding about all the screenshots, right? Here, you people can go and follow the document, right? After that, when an install Python screen comes, when you are executing the executable file of Python, yes, I am going to share this document. Don't worry, I am going to share each and every document, program, everything to you. Don't worry about that. Immediately after the session, I am going to put in all the 3 FDP groups. Okay, so let me concentrate on the technical part. This may be a redundant for a computer science engineer. Once you start installation, I recommend by default, you see the screen, by default, it may get installed in C drive, but I recommend you can install in your own other drive so that it will not be clumsy later on. So my document says customize installation. After that, it is very important to select this, add Python to path. Why this is required? If you skip this also, later you can add the path. But for a non-computer science background people, it will be difficult to go to the environment variables or on the command prompt. So it is better to click add Python 3.8 to the path. Okay, then let me clear the annotations, and then after that you are going to get one more screen which I will try to highlight. If you select documentation, beautiful documentation will be downloaded in your machine itself. It is an optional feature, but the next one, PIP. See, PIP is a Python installation manager. By default, Python will come with some libraries. If you want additional libraries, you can use PIP. So I request everybody to check this PIP. All other things are optional. Okay, all other things are optional. Then after that, some advanced options are coming. Okay, now I selected F drive. I selected F drive Python. You can select your own things. So directly, some people will write F drive Python here, but there is no Python directory there. So first you create the Python directory in F, then if you give, it will be okay, right? After that, setup progress will come. It is very simple to install Python. Okay, once Python is installed, if you want to know whether it is successfully installed or not, go to your command prompt. I will show you now. In 5 minutes, I will show you. Go to command prompt and type py. If 3 greater than symbols are coming, that means your Python is installed successfully, which I mentioned the screenshot here, right? After that, you need to install so many libraries. So I gave each and every command here and the screenshot also, and where to type the command also is captured. So pip install numpy, then it will install the numpy library. Similarly, there are scikit-learn, Panda, Seaborn, all the screenshots are very clearly mentioned in this document, which I am going to share. Now, before going to tomorrow's session, I want to tell you how our sessions are going to be from tomorrow. Just you will get a feel, right? So what I am going to do is, I am not going to use PyCharm, PyJupyter, no. I am not going to use any IDEs. My Guruji is Dr. Professor V. Ramachandran. From him, his guidance only I did PhD, right? He told me, Nagaraju, don't use IDEs. I came from industry to NIT Nagaland, but he told, you are an academic person. I didn't understand why my professor is telling me not to do IDE, right? But industry people may contradict to me. In industry, people use the IDE because, hello, hello. In industry, you have to run, but in academia, we should not run. We should lay strong foundations. So what I am going to do from tomorrow is something like this. I will start my command prompt. Ideally, the command prompt will be in black color, but I changed that for the presentation perspective to white color. So from here, I went there and I just changed the colors, right? So I am going to teach from tomorrow in this way. I have some programs which I already delivered lectures on some other college. So I'm going to use the same programs, and in front of you, I'm going to explain the program line by line. I'm using a Notepad++. You can also use a Notepad++ is a free software. If you just go to Google, it will be downloaded, right? So I created a shortcut here. So if I type NPP or example, see here, Notepad. Notepad, everybody knows, right? What is Notepad? I am not going to double click Notepad. I am going to launch Notepad from the command prompt only. Okay. Then I may write, suppose understand pandas. Today I am not going to explain you. Tomorrow I am going to explain you, right? Now, this is my program which I used in Notepad. In Notepad, colors are not coming. So for easy understanding and easy delivering lectures, so I am using Notepad++. Now you see the same program is opening in different colors. First one is orange because I commented it. Don't try to understand this program. Tomorrow we will see. I am going to explain each and every line of the program, and we are going to have the hands-on session. After that, I may execute the program. First, I will explain the program. Then how I am going to execute from the command prompt. Something like this. I didn't explain you the program, so I should not explain the output also, just for a look and feel how our FDP is going to be in the coming 5 sessions. No more theory, only practical sessions, and each and every line I will try to explain you. Now you see, I executed something, some output came. Don't worry about the output, right? I will explain the output also from tomorrow onwards, right? So that's it. This is how we are going to do. And I am going to explain how to create your own data also. I am not only going to use the real data set. For simplicity, let me fabricate some student data and let me program some missing values purposefully, and then we will handle those things, right? So that's it from my end. So it's up to you now. If you have any doubts, any queries, I will not use GitHub. I am not going to use GitHub. I am plain Notepad. I am going to use a plain Notepad. I am going to explain you from the Notepad only. I am not going to use GitHub, Jupyter. No, those things, that is for industry perspective. For us to learn, my professor told, you are a teacher now. If you learn from Notepad, you will learn more. Tomorrow or day after tomorrow, you will also appreciate the concept of my professor, which I am following, right? No, I am not going to use. I can use, but I don't want to use Jupyter. Why we should use Jupyter? There is no need. That's what I am telling, right? So there is no need. Yes, one Professor Mallikarjun Garu is asking, will you access the data set from your program? I am going to create a data set from a Python program tomorrow, right? What is the prerequisite for a person from management to understand and learn properly? Okay, Professor Kavita Singh Garu is asking, Madam, prerequisite means you should understand the basics of Python, because I am going to use. If you are not able to understand also, you can also learn later on, because for management people, they are not going to write the program, right? But they will use data visualization techniques. But for you to visualize data, some kind of coding is required. So Professor Kavita Madam, I think some kind of programming knowledge is required in Python. I will try to make you understand. If you are not able to understand, you can also ping me in WhatsApp. How will I get Notepad++? Go to Google and type Notepad++. That's all. Create some data set from participant profile and do experiments. See, one of the professor is asking me, can we use Python in web development? One of the participant is asking me, can I create the data set from the participant's profile? See, immediately, now only I know you. All of a sudden, I can't take all your profiles and start explaining, right? So a very foundation data set I will prepare, which is very much useful also, right? Then one more person is asking, please show from beginning data set to yes, tomorrow. See, today is only a motivational technical talk. I am going to explain you how to create a data set from the Python program till the visualization. Patiently wait for 4 days. If I am not covering end-to-end process, please ask me on the 4th day, right? And one more question is there. Can Python be used in web development? Excellent enterprise web application development is available in Python, but unfortunately, this FDP is not part of web application development. Python has two different web application frameworks. One is Flask, which is a small framework. Another one is Django, D-J-A-N-G-O, Django, which is a powerful web application framework. Yes. What is SPSS? Professor Ramesh Kumar, sir, you are asking about SPSS. I didn't get you, sir. What is SPSS? Knowledge of SPSS will, what is SPSS, sir? Sorry, I didn't get what is SPSS. Sorry. If you type completely, I may understand. Okay, statistical tool for data analysis. Sir, if you already have some knowledge about statistics, Python can be used very easily for understanding the data analytics and visualization. Okay, one of the participants is asking, how data science related to Python programming? Okay, let me give a small clarification on that, right? Now, what is required in Python data science? How, 1 minute, huh? Let me open the presentation. Somebody is asking which version I have to download for Windows 10. Please refer the document. Everything is mentioned clearly in the screenshots. It's an open source. There are so many packages available. Python different. For a MacBook, there is a different Python library. For a normal Windows 10 machine, my machine is Windows 10. So if you follow my document properly, there is no doubts which will come. Evening, go back once the document is shared. If you face any difficulty, ping me in the group, I will respond, right? So one question they are asking, why Python is related to data science? It's a very good question, right? So let me open my slide deck and I will try to explain why we need Python for data science, right? That's a very good question, because why I have to use, why there is an FDP exclusively on this? Let us see the process of it, data science process, right? For clear understanding. Now, the first thing is obtaining data. How you can obtain data? We can write a Python program for obtaining the data. We can use the pandas library, and there are some methods to obtain the data. Tomorrow I am going to show you. Now, the next process is pre-process the data, clean the data. Again, there are some methods in Pandas library for cleaning the data. Now, for analysis, for pre-processing, for each and every step of data science, Python provides so many libraries to make our life easy. We should concentrate on our logic. Python gives you the method. No need to write the method from scratch. That's why our convener Yugandhar sir also told Python is easy. Python is easy in this way, right? It gives a standard method. By making use of the standard method, you write your own logic. Am I clear, madam? Veka, one of the Professor L. Srinivas sir is asking Veka. I didn't use Veka, but one of my colleague, Dr. Delvar Hussain Mazumdar, he did classification, I think feature selection algorithms on cancer set. He used Veka tool. Yes, Veka tool can be used, but I personally didn't use. So now, any more? Yeah, I request all the organizers. I request the organizers to give permission for all the participants to write the message in the WhatsApp. That is my request to organizer. Now I want to make one special request to the participants. Don't put good morning, good afternoon, good morning, good afternoon. Some other Python workshop is happening here. Don't put any other messages. Kindly put only the technical queries that you need from me, right? So if you promise that we will use these groups only for knowledge purpose, only with respect to this FDP, I can also request the organizers to remove the admin only send messages role, right? So that's it. Now my end is over. If you have any more doubts, I am happy to clarify. Okay, another Professor Gurudat Barab sir is asking, are we going to use Tableau for data visualization? In this FDP, I am going to use the Python library. I am not going to use Tableau. I am going to use the Python library called as Matplotlib. See, there are different libraries available in the outside market, right? So I have planned exclusively for Python, so I am not going to use Tableau, sir. Any more doubts? If there are no doubts, then I can. That's it from my end. Now it is up to the organizers.
Sir.
Yeah, now you please take care, sir. My session is done.
So feedback form will be posted in the group, sir. Don't worry about regarding the feedback form. Okay, after that, you can slowly fill this form. Okay, just click that form and you can submit your feedback.
Thank you all.
Thank you
all.
Thank you for
giving this opportunity for me.
Tomorrow you can come at sharp 3:30. Okay.
Sir, 3:15. Sir, 3:15 we will come. Let us gather. If any doubts are there, for 15 minutes we can clarify. Then our session can start. We can start at 3:30, sir.
Okay. Our session completely will start at 3:30 sharp.
Thank you. Thank you everybody for giving this wonderful opportunity. Jai Hind.
Thank you, sir.